as the architect, and helped to set up a factory called Turulia at Tulheria. Just about a month ago, that was classified by the Green Building Association of USA as a platinum class building. That is the ultimate level. There are only less than 150 buildings of that, and this is the first factory, so first factory in the world to be classified as a platinum building.
So congratulations.
No, I think firstly MS should be congratulated, because they took the chance with us, and you know, again going back to my statement, they had a problem. They took the chance with us, and university, despite, of course, at that time there was a lot of statements made that the university staff might not be able to deliver on this.
So that also talks about the knowledge each sector has to have about each other, right?
Certainly,
that is, if you always have the perception that the universities cannot give what the industry requires, and if the university thinks that the industry does not understand that the university can give it, then there will definitely be a block when it comes to that.
Yeah. And it's a challenge also, you know, you have to take a risk, and then from our side, from the universities, we have to take up the challenge, take that extra step. I know, for example, I know in this, one of the key features of this whole factory was a evaporating cooling system that was developed again by Professor Athalage under his leadership. When they were developing it, they used a specialized package to do the simulations. Even the guy or the company who developed that package didn't know how to, you know, when they had problems, they couldn't help them. So our staff had to develop the solutions and inform the originators, this is the way to use the package, and that was a key feature, and that is, and I know now that is being taken as a benchmark when they check these types of things. So we are very proud of that team that made that achievement.
Right, and also, Professor, I know that you are personally also proud of a lot of achievements the University of Moratuwa graduates have actually achieved by participating in many contests, and I think those are also the things that add value to them, and they become more employable. Do you want to touch on this comment?
Certainly, because this is something that is very important to us. Now, when you're going back to the students, I always said our students were extremely good, and we have a very strict requirement of 80% attendance. You know, all the universities have that, and we also do that. So the students have a huge workload, especially in engineering, architecture, and QS. But the students being good, they are the best in this country, they are easily, that is not enough for them. We found them, we have to set challenges that drives them further. And one of the things that has been very successful at University of Moratuwa is this development on free and open source development. Free and open source is computing. Now, for example, Microsoft is a proprietary thing. The opposite of that is where you would develop a similar package that is open and free and open to anybody to use. So Google, being one of the biggest free and open source people, set up has a competition called Google Summer of Code, where during the summer students have to come in and participate in advancing these free and open source projects. This was started at Moratuwa in around about 2003, when a gentleman from IBM called Dr. Sanjay Veeravarna came and invited the University of Moratuwa, I was the dean at that time, to start on open and source. So by the time 2005 this competition came, we did fairly well. I mean, I think 4 of us projects were selected, but today, say 5 years later, University of Moratuwa has 81 projects that have been completed, accepted, completed, whereas the second is University of Campinas from Brazil has 37. And whereas all big universities, it's heavily promoted in the States. Nevertheless, our students somehow do extremely well on this. So
and they also became #1, right?
They are the #1, and they have a #1 in 2007, 8 and 9. And now this year Google has announced the results of the comprehensive thing. And it's like we are #1 in the world on that.
So for Google to announce the University of Moratuwa graduates, it's actually a pride to Sri Lanka.
Certainly, and also the graduates benefit because it is a real actual challenge that they do, and they produce a result. So even when they apply for their higher studies, for PhDs, they are called coders, I think. And you know, it is like when they are selected, you know, there is they have much better chance because they have proven their abilities. So when all the best students apply for PhD programs in the States, and if you are a coder, you have an extra edge in getting the selection.
So that is the advantage of participating in such contests.
Certainly.
And also winning and bringing the credit to the university and the country as well.
Yeah, and also I must, on the same token, now this year there was another thing called IEEE. IEEE is the biggest professional body for electrical and electronic engineers in the US. They have a competition called the IEEE Extreme, and they call it to be the most extreme programming competition in the world, where for 24 hours student teams of 3 students must work 24 hours continuously. They must plan their sleep and eating, all of that, during which time the association keeps on sending out different problems, and they have to solve the problems, and they get points for it. So it is a very intense competition among all the universities in the world. I think it's something like 700 odd teams participated, and it was the first time that our guys entered. And surprisingly, well, we shouldn't be surprised, a team from Moratuwa became #1 in the world.
Out of 700 teams?
And I think we had it in the Department of Electrical Engineering, and it was very, very nice to see both girls and boys doing extremely well.
So congratulations.
Yeah,
that actually
that's a really good achievement.
And actually that's a pride to Sri Lanka, and I think these the achievements have to be talked about more, because I think that's the time where we have to inspire our other young graduates as well, where we talk about the achievements of
that is
the graduates.
That we are not very good at the universities. We don't talk enough about ourselves.
I think we should do that, and I guess roundtable and discussions like that also should focus more on these achievements. So Professor, there's so much more to talk, but actually because we're running out of time, I need to thank you for actually bringing our attention onto exactly the extremely important concept of industry and university link. We went into detail, especially based on the student-based and the research and development and knowledge transfer and consultancy. So we went into depth about this particular industry-university link. I think it was a very useful insight, and also about the University of Moratuwa and your vision and aspirations about creating world-class graduates. We wish you the best to continue to create world-class graduates in the University of Moratuwa, so that they will keep winning all these awards from Google and Microsoft and all other competitions. Thank you very much, Professor, for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching us. Do join us tomorrow at the same time. Have a good night.